It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, you can tell the left is scared of Trump by how the media is piling on. Oh, I'm sorry, unfairly piling on. You can tell the left is scared of Trump by how the media is unfairly piling on. Wow. You ever see one of those little monkey things, you know, the monkey claps, or they got the little hat on and they give it a quarter and it runs around on a little string and they pull it, and, you know, that little monkey on the string, and it comes and it does some stuff and it runs up to you, give it a quarter, or give it, and then it comes back to his master, jumps up on his shoulder, and they give it a little banana or whatever. You ever see one of those? You know, that reminds me of Trump. but let me go here. Here's how I'm going to respond to this. The media is a tool. See, the liberalism has this big toolbox, right? And one of its most effective tools that has come to understand is media. And it uses this tool, it's his favorite tool. Like, you come to a mechanic has its favorite tool. You know, a carpenter has their favorite tool. You know, people have their favorite tools. You go to the tool drawer, it's that one thing that kind of fixes everything. It's like the Swiss Army knife of your toolbox. You know, you can just grab this one thing and it just does so much. This is how the media is. It's a tool in liberalism's toolbox. Now, see, conservatism had a tool. It has some tools too. Conservatism's favorite tools were the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the rule of law and morals and values. Those were their tools. And so what's happened over the last 8 years is liberalism's favorite tool has been functioning in the open and not hiding like how it usually does. And its favorite tool, the media, picks conservatives candidates, Mitt Romney, John McCain, and things like this, popularity, this and that. And the media makes these guys seem larger than life, and everybody else on the conservative side or the Republican or the right side of America is a bunch of ridiculous retards. And so we're so used to the media picking our candidate because that's the tool liberalism had. So now it's been out in the open now for the last 8 years. It hasn't been hiding. And so what this tool has been doing is it picks the candidate to preserve liberalism. That's what their toolbox is for. So the media, now it's been in the open. See, before 2008, before Barack Obama, it kind of had to hide and slither in the weeds a little bit. But this time, for the last 8 years, it's been out in the open. Liberalism knew that it has decimated almost every social group in America. It has done it with trying to make every social group and pandering to every social group in America. It has done it by making them think that they're powerful and they're going to make progress and things like this. And then now that they're out in the open, they're getting their butts kicked. Homosexuals are getting their butts kicked by radical Islam, which all these are tools that liberalism needs to pander to. The African American community is being decimated by the justice system. And all these things have been happening over the last 8 years. Liberalism has been providing all of these things. Liberalism has supported the justice system, and they're trying to support the African American community's crime element. And they're both clashing. See, it is happening. This is what's been happening over the last 8 years. Barack Obama is supposed to be the one who saves the black community, but the black community in his own hometown is decimating themselves on his watch. Almost 3,500 murders of young black people in Barack Obama's hometown. See, that's liberalism. Barack Obama's hometown, liberals there are supporting the justice system and getting you to march against the justice system. That's how they win. They pander. It's been functioning like this in the open. Now, why am I going here? Donald Trump was the gift to keep on giving to liberalism. Now you're hearing Rush, Limpballs, and all their little ridiculous conservative media people complaining about the unfair treatment to Donald Trump in the media. No, Donald Trump is getting the same treatment. It was just that the media needed the entertainer Donald Trump during the primaries, because they knew that the country was fundamentally transformed. You knew he was popular from TV, so they needed the entertainer. And they kept him out in the media because he was funny as hell, goofy and dumb as hell. They needed that guy. The Popular Apprentice, you're fired guy. The guy you thought was a multi-billionaire because he was popular. That's who they needed through the primary. Why? Because they needed Donald Trump to be the tool to clear out what they were really scared of. They were scared of conservatism. They were scared of the Bill of Rights. They were scared of Jesus Christ. They were scared of morals and values coming to the forefront after 8 years of functioning immorally and getting our country just at each other's throats. They needed a massive distraction, because the country was going to go back to conservatism after the 8 years of every single social group in our country at each other's throats, orchestrated by liberalism. So they needed the entertainer Donald Trump to come in and wipe out everything that they were truly scared of. Ted Cruz, principles, Marco Rubio, principles, these kind of things. So they needed Donald Trump to go in there and wipe them all out. They got Donald Trump to come into the Republican family and act like Charles Manson and kill his whole family. That's what they needed. They kept him out in front of the media so that it can happen. Now the media is still giving Donald Trump attention, but now they don't need him to be the massacre in chief anymore. Now they need him to be the idiot that they knew he was in the beginning. They need him now to be unpresidential, half-cocked, unhinged, ridiculous, stupid, irrational. That's what they need from him now, and that's what he's being. And Hillary Clinton is only there to piss off Republicans. That's all she's there for. Liberals don't care if Hillary Clinton becomes the president or not. They just need you to be so mad that you won't see how ridiculous Donald Trump is. They need you to be so mad that you don't see how they're hoodwinking you and bamboozling you with this Hillary Clinton shiny object. That's all they need Hillary for. They got Hillary's number. If we was to switch up anybody but Donald Trump, Hillary would be indicted tomorrow. They don't need Hillary other than to keep you Republican, right-leaning, old schools pissed off. That's all they need Hillary for. They need Donald during the primary to wipe out Republicans, wipe out conservatism, wipe out the Constitution from the dynamic of this is what it's going to take to overcome the last 8 years. They've accomplished that. Now that Donald Trump is the hard nominee, now they need Donald Trump to be the incompetent, bumbling, orange idiot that he was all along. Now they're going to break on, they wiped out the policy argument. They did it. Now that Donald Trump can't talk policy, his policy is based on how he's going to occupy the monkey bars at the playground. He's a 10 to 12-year-old idiot trapped in orange skin. He can't talk policy. Look at how he comes out. Oh, Detroit, the motor capital. We're going to bring motor roaring back. That's not a policy. That's a sales pitch. Now, this is what the media needs. This is what liberals need in order to get to the next 4 years. Because without Donald Trump, the black vote would have been able to be won over by conservatives, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the rule of law. Because we would have been able to show the black community, I'm still going to do it because this is what Phil Williams does. I'm going to show the black community how the very same liberals have promoted the justice system that you're angry at and marching against. We're going to be able to show them that now because there's proof. It's not innuendo. It's not some kind of guessing game. It's proof. We're going to be able to show the homosexual community that under the Constitution you were protected, but under liberalism you are exposed. We're going to be able to show all these things, and that's what I'm going to spend the rest of my life educating people on. But here's the deal. Donald Trump is not being unfairly castigated by the media. They just don't need him to wipe out Republicans no more. They need him now to be the incompetent idiot, the ridiculous retard, the non-specific and never get specific, ridiculous human being, in order for you to put that up against a Hillary Clinton or whatever liberal they choose to pick. Donald Trump is going to seal liberalism. And the media is nothing but a tool in their toolbox. Now, why the conservative media buying in on this? Because one of the only surviving prosperous aspects of the last 8 years was conservative media. Rush and Sean and Herman, they are egotistical just like Donald. They don't need the American people to be the smart ones. They want to be the smart ones. They don't want no one to be smarter than them. Their egos have gotten away, and we have been running to them like damsels in distress. We don't know nothing unless Rush and Sean can tell us. And they want to keep it that way. We are conservative media's low information voter, or don't want any information other than what these sellouts have given us. Conservative media really thinks it's going to be able to continue to prosper under liberalism in the White House. That's why I'm calling for an exodus from the media, a mass exodus from the funding that we give to the Republican Party. And once we can get all the egos and everything out of the way, then we might even be able to create a mass exodus from the party, period. But we can't do that if everybody's ego's in the way, and it's got to be my way, and I got to do things my way, and there's no other opinion. And we start segregating ourselves in our freaking little social media groups. We'll never get this country back if everybody's turning into a freaking egotistical Donald Trump in your little Facebook groups, kicking people out, hating people, dogging people. We need a coalition of ideas. And there is no big I's or little U's. It's just an American country left to the wayside in a ditch somewhere. Unless we get our acts together. Instead of trying to figure out what acts we have to grind. It's conservatism versus liberalism. And liberalism is winning. But conservatism is what this country was founded on. And if you can remove all that other bull crap out the way, we can get back to saving this country. Hey, I'm Phil Williams. Sorry for going so long, but that's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.